But what is the main role of a data scientist?
So thank you, Claudia, for this invitation. Let's start with the data science. So what it is and why it was a thing and now it has evolved and changed. So in simple terms, if I ask you what is the weather right now, and you are going to see the outside, probably the sun, feel the wind, and which month you are in, so you have this years of experience that you felt this way, and based on that, you will make a guess. And data science is no more different. What it does, it takes different data sources, different parameters, and make a function. And it's like that function is going to predict what it could be. And it will have an error. It won't be 100% accurate, but it will make a best judgment with a very simple calculation. So this is the main principle behind a data science.
And I think there are a lot of models. And models, I don't know if architecture is a good word for this. So you kind of choose best way of organize data.
So in machine learning terms and in data science world, you have supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning. Now you see also language learning models and so on. And so if you have data when you don't know what you want, it's like an unsupervised learning. So you try to find a pattern, cluster, or group. If you want to predict a specific a target, that could be, as I mentioned, predicting a degree of the weather, or could be a target, a category of something. And when that happens, it's a supervised learning. And then you have a reinforcement learning. So it's the same way how human works. So positive reinforcement, so you will take more positive decision. And so these are the some of the things. Then there's also other branches like computer vision, where you use AI for images or videos to perform certain actions. And now what we are in a really, really transforming world, what you saw in OpenAI with the language. It makes it really, really simple. And people now are more aware what is the power of AI.
Yes, and so to sum up, your role is really important because data is the basis of the artificial intelligence. Let's build a little more about artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? We have a lot of definitions, opinions, comments. What is artificial intelligence?
So the intelligence, if you look at human intelligence, we are very complex being, we grew up in a certain environment, we learn in a certain language, and then, from school to university, this is how we build our intelligence over a period of time. Plus we have a DNA that also inbuilt intelligence also. In artificial intelligence, you try to mimic it, like to do it in an automated manner. So instead of you doing it, it's a machine or a computer or a program that mimic the intelligence and do that job for you automatically without thinking. So this is what I would call artificial intelligence. And now we talk about neurons in your brain, how they take a decision. The computers, nowadays they follow a similar pattern. So where there is a form of a neural network that gets different sources of data to predict something, so or make a decision about it. So this is what you call artificial intelligence.
So do you think artificial intelligence will destroy us someday, like some people say?
I do not really think that way, because I think we are too afraid of facing something disruptive. And also the movies and the way it is depicted is not very positive. And each thing can have a positive and negative side. So you can use an artificial intelligence for social good, but you can also use it for bad things. Okay. So, and what happens if you go to a media, they tend to magnify bad things or things, so this is how the perception is. But in reality, both will go hand in hand.
Yes. But do you think that AI someday will replace us?
No, I don't think so. It's at least I don't think so.
It's a tool, right?
It's a tool. You program it to do certain things, and that's what they're supposed to do.
Okay. Now, a step further. I remember when we first met at Negra Café, we talked about a very interesting issue, and it is related to my thesis, quantum computing. It's like if people are scared of artificial intelligence, imagine quantum computing. Can you explain to us what it is in an easy way, please?
So I think before even quantum computing, let's try to go one step backward. So imagine your grandfather today see you navigate on a Google map, and they have never seen that phone. So for them, this is a magic. You don't know the way, but you are
Yes.
going, right?
Yes.
So I just wanted to point out this fact, and the same way this is a and the way we achieved it is a very incremental manner. So we started with bits. So you have a 0 1, how you call computer programming. Behind that there's a language.
Mm-hmm.
Then what it does in a way, takes a simple decision, and or it's basic, but then as computing evolved, it becomes more and more complex. Now if you see, before, the telephone used to be huge, or computer used to be super heavy. Now they become lean and lean, but now we are reaching to the point where we can no more compute very, very complex things. So there are things in DNAs, there are things in energy, there are things in many, many applications, security, where we have reached to a point where we can't go beyond. So that's why there is a need for a different type of computing. And now the concept of quantum computing is quantum mechanics. It came from, so there's many, many things behind the scene. The underlying principle is 0 and 1. So when you say, if you flip a coin, you have a head or tail. This is how.
Yes, the coin example, I remember.
Exactly. And but in quantum world, they can be both at the same time.
Yeah.
So if I ask you to make let's say I will give you a number of 99. I will ask you, hey, what would be the multiple of 99? So you would say 9 multiplied by 11. But when you don't have this information, you have to make a lot of time, a calculation, trial and error to get this multiple of 9. In quantum computing, all can be done at the same time, and you have all the right and the wrong answers at the same time. So this is it's very difficult for us to process. Even for me, when I started getting to subject, it was very difficult. So it's like I am that grandfather right now, so I have no idea how it's going to be exposed to in future. So let's put it that way.
Thank you very much. It was really, you were really clear about it, but it is difficult. It's difficult, and our brain cannot process this kind of concepts.
Not really. We are not prepared for it. So we live in a binary world where there's a right and wrong, and I want a favorable answer. And in quantum world, it's not like that. So because we want a favorable answer, maybe we are not ready. So let's put it that way. Maybe the quantum computer is already here, we're just not ready. Or maybe somewhere we are still a long way to go, but it's a process.
Let's see. Let's wait and see. So now we are going to talk about Preflet and about startups and how to be an entrepreneur. There are a lot of young people that are starting businesses from scratch. I know that you have some struggles, but a lot of victories as well. Please explain to us how to build a startup from scratch. How did you come up with the idea? What were your first steps? Tell us everything.
So I'm going to go a little bit backwards. When I was studying my master's at Nova, and I took a side course as entrepreneurship. and one of the professors said, as first day, right, starting the class, and so you are here to learn about entrepreneurship. Don't do it unless you don't have a choice, or you really want to do it, because you're going to be not very happy with a lot of things. You're going to not have time. Your relationships will be at stake. You were going to most likely dope someone's money, because it's hard to build a startup. And back then I'm like, why this guy is not really encouraging, instead of
Yes.
discouraging? I never understood. And when I started, I just started as a because I was working for a decade, and I did not feel like I've been really making an impact in this world. And the data is something that I'm very close to. And another challenge that we see in the recent years, how the energy is coming. And so it was not like really a straight line. So I started while working on an idea that leads to where I am. But you cannot do it alone. You need a team. You need to have people that believe in your vision. You need to have people that complement the skills. You need a team that can make that dream a reality. Okay, so for me, coming from nowhere, from corporate jobs, it was very difficult, because when you have a salary, you have no risk and everything.
Yeah.
But to this side, you have no certainty. Like, everything is uncertain. You don't know the product you're building is going to work. You don't know whether customer will pay for it. You don't know you will be able to attract more talent. If you don't deliver anything, they are not going to raise investment. So it's a whole circle. It's very complex to build a startup. But you need to have what you call persistence, and you need to believe in what you want to do. And always remember, you're not building a startup to get rich, or to make a lot of money, and you're going to be like one of the billionaires. It's an outcome if you do it really well. So, but you need to start with why you want to do it, why you
Okay.
want to make this change, why this problem matters to you. So I think this is something I would say. So reflecting on myself, I really did fill these gaps. I'm still on the way. So yeah. So this is how I would put it as a experience so far in that.
So you need a purpose, right?
You need a purpose. You need a purpose, and you need a team, and you need to have this drive every day to do toward your purpose.
What is your purpose and Preflet purpose? What is the main activity and the main objectives of Preflet?
So a Preflet helps building manager reduce energy cost and carbon footprint. So today, if you look at it, there are buildings everywhere in every corner, and we waste a lot of energy. So if you look around official report from European Union, almost 2/3 of the buildings are inefficient. I mean, they're completely not being used properly. Then, so what we do, we understand how buildings consume the energy. We get other sorts of information, benchmark, climate data, and we give back actions, the actions that you can implement, and you can have an impact immediately. So this is our purpose. So I hope it's clear.
Yes, so it was really clear, and it is really important because we have a lot of discussion about climate change. So we need this kind of solutions. It seems very simple and concrete, but really important to measure the efficiency of a building and to take some action on it. So thanks. Thanks. You are helping the world. You are really taking action in a major problem that we are all of us are facing now. I know you have some projects in place, namely in Portugal. Can you talk a little bit about them?
So we are running several pilots in Italy, in Germany, and Portugal. We are running one pilot building in Porto. two in Lisbon. We are also have access to a laboratory from utility company, and our goal is to how we can understand the energy consumption of these buildings, detect the peaks and energy loss points, and direct the building owners to look at it and have this reduction. Because if you look at the majority of the time we spend our time in building, so we really need to be conscious how we use it and what we do with this energy, because it doesn't come in a nice way from fossil fuel. And Portugal is a good example, but yet still we need to be very, very conscious in terms of how we produce the energy, how we use the energy.
Yeah. And what is the opinion of the main, I don't know, players in this field? The investors, other companies, customers, they were aware of this kind of stuff, this kind of necessity?
So what has happened, this problem is not new. It was let's say, you could deal with it because energy cost is low. Then you have no accountability, no regulations.
Yeah.
You don't care, like, okay, what I'm going to save 500,000 euros for so much work, it's not worth it. But now the dynamics have changed, so the costs are going up each and year, so it's no more the price it used to be. Then if you want to understand, you need to invest a lot of money. That's another problem. So sometimes you don't have a business case, and then the new regulations are going to force you to take action. Otherwise you can't have a value of your property, or even in future able to rent it. There are many things on the way.
Yes, reputation, for instance, the impact of the companies in the environment is nowadays really important, really important. ESG is here. There is a lot of regulations ongoing, and companies now are aware that this is very important, and customers as well, because I think environment is really important for consumers. And the final question. How did you see your future and Preflet future in the coming years? Where are you going?
So first we need to understand where we stand, in the energy landscape. So it's a huge world. So you have different stakeholder, utility company, renewables, service providers, building management system, black box, AI tools, and then among all, we saw there is a huge gap in the market, because only a fraction of buildings are making sense of data and use it for good. So we identify these gaps. So first we position ourselves. Now since we are finishing our pilots, we want to go from in the next year from 100 to thousands of buildings, and make our product in a way that not only caters existing need of the energy efficiency, but also some future needs. That, for example, we are working with the satellite imaging for remote assessment capabilities. And we also want to grow our team to serve a huge portfolio of buildings while staying lean, because startup is all about the curve. So you need to be able to do more with less. So that's why we say less is more. So
Yes.
this is something what I wanted to emphasize, what we are going to do in a couple of years.
Let me say one thing, that it's all about, not all, but there is something that is really important, is education. Because I talk with other companies, and they told me that they have to talk with customers, explain what is AI, why it's important, don't be scared, please, you can use this, what is advantages, and you talk about this gap. So it is important for you have this kind of educative role.
So every time you come up with a new product or new service, given that any startup, you need to create an awareness, why it is necessary and why people should care. So you need to have this basic knowledge gap filled. But if you really build a good product or service that is going to be easy for them to start and have a benefit, and they clearly understand why, the education curve becomes smaller. So
Okay.
so yeah, so it's all about how you see the problem and how you solve it and how the people perceive it, the way you are solving it. So the lesser the gap is, the less effort we are going to do in educating people.
But this is harder when we talk about artificial intelligence. And
It used to be much harder, like, okay, what is this model? What is this parameter? What are the things that we need to change? But now, we are living in the world where artificial intelligence is everywhere. Recently saw that even the forecasting of a weather, which has been not super accurate, but yet there was 10% up recently because of AI, faster and better. And so we are seeing it. And we are seeing it how we can create phrases, sentences, images, videos, but just by explaining basically. So people are experiencing this.
yeah.
So I don't think it's a challenge anymore, but still it needs to be very intuitive, whichever form of AI you build.
Yes, because I think people think about the risks, and the risks sometimes are uncertain. You cannot measure the risks related to artificial intelligence. So I think a good explanation is always needed. Shailendra, thank you very much.